right, guys, well, here we are down to the bottom left-hand corner of Daybreak as our blue Protoss player up 3-2 in the set here at IPL Fight Club. That is Liquid HerO. And his opponent here in the upper right-hand corner, our red Terran player hailing from Team NSHS, that is Jjakji.
Yep. That's right. So now this is the map that Jjakji, among a lot of other Terran players, have liked to do that proxy barracks bunkering of the really fast expands that some Protoss players have been trying to do on this map. So you can definitely bet that Liquid HerO is going to be on the lookout for that type of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. It still might not stop him from doing any sort of early expand, and that's fine. I mean, you can still try to do that really aggressive economic expand like a Nexus or a Gateway, then Nexus. You just have to make sure you're very thorough with the scouting, especially on this map.
And looks like HerO started scouting right from that pylon, not keeping that probe around to put down a gateway first. Wants to get a good read on what his opponent is doing immediately. And we'll see if Jjakji decides to proxy his barracks. He's not sent out an SCV yet, so it looks like he's just going to build right at the walls. We see the stars being placed down in rally points.
Yes. Superstar, and that SCV making the superstar barracks.
Yeah.
Yep, so no sort of crazy proxy shenanigans from him this game.
No. And HerO probably, let's see if he drops down to gate or just bypasses it. Looks like he is going to bypass it for now, and we'll see if he just ends up going Nexus first.
Yeah, I think he's going to be pretty happy to see that barracks. He's like, all right, awesome. I can just go ahead and toss down that Nexus just like I wanted to. And so, yeah, almost certainly, well, yeah, obviously now we're going to see him go for that Nexus first.
And already has his last couple of probes queued up, so it will be a 17 Nexus. Jjakji, on the other hand, bypassing gas, so we're probably going to see just a gasless fast expand out of him as well. So some good economy for both our players to start this game.
Yeah, definitely. Nexus just starting now for Jjakji, and it looks like, or for a HerO rather, and it looks like Jjakji is going to go ahead and go for the command center before the second, or going for the orbital command before the command center, which is pretty normal. Once in a while you see people go really crazy and get that command center first and then the orbital, but I don't know, I think it's a little bit better to get the mule and the energy production going in most cases. Certainly,
and looks like that is the order of things. Command center coming out now as we have our first gateway coming up for HerO. That's Marine just making sure there's no more scouters going to get in late or anything like that. That is now his job. It looks like he's holding off on Marine production for a little while until he starts investing in his other infrastructure, supply depot and the like. And taking a look back on HerO's side of things, nothing out of the ordinary quite yet. It looks like we're once again in store for maybe not too passive of a game, but at least a little bit longer macro game.
Yeah, you know what? I wonder to a certain extent if we're actually going to see... Okay, we're not. I was wondering if we were going to see the 3 Nexus, but with the gas, he decided to go with the Cybernetics core instead. We've been seeing some Protoss players go Gate Nexus on this map. And that's been doing really, really well against the standard 3 barracks plays that Terrans have tended to do.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, maybe he still will. Maybe just wants to start the warp gate research. But, of course, with the second gas, not likely. But,
well, yeah, of course, not now. But
right. Yeah. So let's see here. 2 more racks coming up now for Jjakji. And a 4th one down as well. And a 5th one. So 5 racks, all colors of the rainbow represented there. And so 5 racks, delaying on gas a little bit, but he is going to have an enormous amount of Marines pretty quickly.
This is a build that has been kind of debated lately in Korea. A lot of Terran players prefer to just stick with 4. A lot of people see that going up to 5 delays your tech too much, you know. But the flip side of that is that with 5 barracks making Marines, you can put a lot of early pressure on your opponent. You know, especially one that's not going for too many gateways early on. You know, if they're deciding to do some tech, you can get in there and abuse that, especially on a map where you've got a couple different ways to get into the natural. It's still, I'm kind of on the fence about it. I like the idea of having a ton of Marines early on. I mean, I like that style. But in terms of in a longer game, I would agree that it definitely delays your tech, and I don't know if it's worth it to try to get in there and do that damage with the early Marine pressure.
Well, nothing out of the ordinary from HerO now as he's adding in gateways number 2 and 3 at the moment. So this is going to be interesting to see how this eventually pans out. The probe does get killed, so he's not going to be able to see exactly how many Marines are flooding out of those barracks at the moment. Still, no more gas for Jjakji. He is making sure to stay on top of those supply blocks, though, as Supply Depot finishing up at just the right time. It'll probably start another one here in just a bit. And your supply really does go through the roof whenever you do this. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you have to be constantly making depots if you're going to do something like that. And of course, at a high level, you shouldn't be missing those supply depots. Generally, we don't see pro players do that too often.
Right.
But look at that. A lot of Marines coming out across the map here, so definitely going to be some pressure. Even sending a couple SCVs with that. He can throw down some bunkers if he'd like to. Do a little bit of buffering. Now, are there any sentries out here for HerO at the moment? Not yet.
I do not believe so. No. Triple gas coming down for Jjakji at the moment. He is pressuring with a lot of Marines. He's just going to try and work his way through. Zealot at the front already goes down. There's a lot of reinforcements coming in from behind. One Stalker has fallen as well. The Marines at the front are starting to get picked apart, though. The hurt one's going down very quickly.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is the reason why I'm really not so sure about this yet. Because, yeah, you can get in there and do some damage, but it seems like a lot of times at this point the push kind of stops. I mean, you can see with enough Stalkers you can micro pretty well against this. And so when it's all said and done, how much damage has Jjakji really done? You know, when not a lot is the answer. So that's the thing. I mean, he's putting down his add-ons. He did go for a lot of gas right after he pushed out there.
Sure.
But he's going to be way behind in tech. Now, he's a little bit lucky that his opponent hasn't really decided to tech yet either. So, really, in terms of this particular game, they're on fairly even ground. And, wow, that's 7 gates. So, Liquid HerO not planning on doing any more teching this game. Looks like he's just going to go ahead and try to end it with a 7 gate. And the thing is that with only Marines, no Marauders, it's going to be pretty effective. I guess he's making a few now, but his Marauder count's, of course, going to be much lower than it would be normally. Well,
we'll see if HerO is able to attack before Jjakji is able to get back on his feet, so to speak. He is going to have medevacs in here eventually, and I do mean eventually. Maybe he'll invest in some more add-ons here in just a second. So, you know, he's getting to the point where he's going to have, you know, quite a few units, 5 racks with bunkers, may be able to hold that 7 gate, but HerO is going to be able to push in a very strong manner very soon.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty tough spot for Jjakji, I think. He should be getting hit before Stim finishes. He might have combat shields. He might have +1, but this is coming pretty quick. And he has no bunkers, by the way, too. He's making a turret right now, but no bunkers.
All right, well, let's see. The Zealots are running up to the side now, and he had one before, and I guess he just canceled it or decided
to always
cover it right away. Yes.
Well, if you're going for the gasless sort of opening. Yep. And oh no, this is a disaster for Jjakji right now, getting these units trapped out in the open like this. He's going to lose half his army before the push even gets there.
Yeah.
Oh man, I think HerO might just steamroll our Terran here. The SCV's coming off the line. Jjakji's going to need to control this really, really well.
Yes, he is. So there's enough sentries there that a ton of force fields are going to get spammed down, and he'll be able to recycle those Guardian shields over and over again. A few closer pylons are getting placed down. Units are starting to appear out of the back. A couple of good force fields hitting in the Marauders at first. Wow, that's pretty much all of the Marauders. In fact, there's just one sitting behind that. So
Stim, though, it's getting so close to finishing.
Yes, it is. How far is it away? It's 15 seconds. We're going to see if it's going to be able to make a difference now. The SCV's not really buffering any damage because they're not on the other side of the force fields. The units are finally starting to catch up for HerO. He's pulling way ahead in supply. The army for Jjakji is just getting obliterated at the moment in a 50 supply swing now advantage for HerO.
Yeah, Stim done now, but it just did not come soon enough. This should be it. I mean, HerO looks like he's just going to steamroll our Terran player. A little bit of a Stim, but again, not a lot of units. The rest of the SCVs coming off the line as more reinforcements come in, and it looks like Liquid HerO is going to advance to a 4-2 in this fight club. Look at that.